Hello, and welcome back to Marble West Gold, where we are still stuck on level Will-O-the-Wisp, so let's just hop right in and try and give it a go.
Set!
And I'm probably just gonna ramble about random things again, because what the hell am I gonna comment on? In regards to the game. If I start to slow down and stumble on my words, it's because I'm trying to think harder about what I'm doing in the level at particular moments. Last time I spent a lot of time talking about my Lord of the Rings tabletop campaign I'm working on. Which I've been considering offering myself as a DM for hire, and you know, hey, maybe if anybody's interested, hit me up over on the Discord and we can talk about it. I don't know. I wouldn't mind just DMing for random people, and hey, if random people want, we could even potentially make a YouTube thing out of it. I don't know. There we go. Jesus. Careful. Fuck! A real bad bounce right there.
Ready! Set!
Go! Yeah, I don't know. I love doing tabletop campaigns. It's one of my favorite pastimes. It always has been. Like, even before I knew what D&D was, me and my brother were, like, making up tabletop games to play based off our favorite video games and TV shows. Our favorite one we did, this was when we were, like, when I was, like, 8 or 9, so my brother was probably, like, 10 or 12 or somewhere around that range. God, it's bad that I don't ever remember how much older than my brother is, but ages are just a thing that never sticks in my head. Careful. Words. But one of our favorite games we always settled on as a kid was what we called TV Game World. Just because, like, that's the name that we ended up defaulting to, and the premise of it was that his character would take the role of an interdimensional traveler, traveling between all of our favorite video games and TV shows, and I would DM. And early on, before we knew what D&D was, I didn't activate the shock absorber. I'm so dumb.
Ready!
We just sort of bullshit. Like, he would say what he wanted to do, and then I would just say either succeeded or failed based off things. You know, I would just make a call. But then as we got older, it was realized, like, that's not exactly always fair, because, you know, how did he should have some sway over it. And because this is when we shared a room with a bunk bed, we were always up really late at night, the idea we came up with was that I would pick a number within a range, and, you know, the harder the difficulty, the higher the range, the easier the challenge, the smaller the range, and he would have to guess the number in order to pass the skill check.
Shock absorber.
And then we learned what D&D was and started playing. Started, like, trying to play by those rules. But then around that time, he then moved out, and I then got to do D&D for a number of years with friends in high school and stuff as I started going into high school. And by the time me and him started hanging out again, I had gotten well into crafting my own tabletop system, and we started doing campaigns using my system, Heart of Action. Which, if you're interested in trying out Heart of Action, the entire rule set of it is available on the Discord. The entire basic rule set, I should say. There's more intricate rules depending on the setting that I don't really have posted anywhere aside from my own notes. Because one day I want to make, like, rule books that I sell. But the rules I have are, like, enough for you to do a very basic Heart of Action game. And then, like, official books will come out with things like more balanced, nuanced stuff, detailed leveling systems, enemy designs, map designs, world designs, stuff like that. And that's just a thing I sort of chip away at in my free time sometimes. And, you know,
Shock absorber.
If you guys ever are interested, you know, let me know. Maybe I'll fucking, I don't know, try and put things together for it. I know I want to take the Fallout campaign I'm doing right now and strip all of the Fallout elements of that and make my own generic post-apocalyptic setting that I've been working on for a while, actually. Which, that apocalypse setting I've been working on. Whereas Fallout is based off 1950s retrofuturism, I want to make a setting inspired by 1920s retrofuturism because I fucking adore 1920s retrofuturism. It's like in this weird middle ground between steampunk, dieselpunk, and atompunk, and I love it. some of the hallmarks that I've definitely stolen for my setting that I love are, there's this, because of the world wars going on, there was this obsession with underground city concepts. So I'm taking my hands off the control to scratch an itch. This obsession with underground city concepts, which I love. There is this idea that highways would start stacking, or that helicopters would become... I gotta shut up for a moment. Oh, fuck, it didn't jump. I hit the jump button, it didn't jump.
Ready.
Helicopters would become the more normal mode of transportation, so cities would have docking bays for them. One of the concepts I like that I'm definitely stealing is this concept of cities becoming tiered cities, where, like, you know, you would create a building surrounded in roads, and then you create a second story and an elevated roadway that lines with those buildings, and then a third story with another elevated roadway, creating these weird city lasagnas, and the entire roof section would be dedicated to parks. And there would sometimes be greenhouse skyscrapers to also make multi-level parks so that the lower levels could access parks more easily. And people really were obsessed with the idea of all transport either being helicopters, zeppelins, or rockets, because rockets were just becoming a thing, and helicopters were theorized, and planes weren't super popular yet, and zeppelins were still very popular. So it was just a very interesting time. And this was when people first started to really hardcore conceptualize the idea of robots. So there's a lot of very interesting, like, clockwork and steam-powered robot concepts that come from the 1920s, and gasoline-powered robots. And it's very cool stuff when you look into it. I love it all. It's like the main campaign, or like setting I'm working on, it has the working name of Tunnels, or Tunnelway, or Golden Triangle are the three names, like working titles I have it under. Where the premise of it is, you are how do I word this? A major disaster was set to befall the world, and so people went into underground cities that were constructed to wait out the coming ice age. And that wait out went on and on and on, and it's now been generations underground, and the surface is a land to be feared, of a dangerous world of beasts. Ah, fuck.
Ready.
Keep fucking this up.
Set.
And the different underground cities are all interconnected through underground sort of pneumatic subway systems that are no longer operational, so people travel through them on foot. If I hit that button at the wrong angle, I'm just fucked.
Go!
But at least I don't mind that fuck up so much because it's so early on in the level. Yeah, so like the whole campaign, you know, it's in a lot of ways inspired by Metro and Fallout and what were some of the other inspirations? There was a couple of other old RPGs I played that serve as inspiration that I can't think of, and Elder Scrolls inspires a little because there is actually a tinkling of magic into this setting, and Command and Conquer actually inspired some elements. Careful. Oh yeah, I've been stuck on this level for like 4 episodes now, and there's a button I have to hit, but I have to like jump down on it from above, and if I hit it at the wrong angle, I just get yeeted off. Oh. There we go. There we go. Careful. Yeah, oh yeah, hey Sheeps. I gotta promote you to admin at some point. I keep forgetting to do that. There we go. Hang on, I gotta be quiet for a moment because I'm getting to the very hard part that I keep dying on.
Time travel.
Oh, okay. We're officially the furthest I've ever gotten. Well, actually not quite yet. If I make this next jump, we will be. Oh, that's the furthest I've ever gotten.
Ready.
Balls.
Set. Go!
But anyway, we got a long section to go through again, so let me go back to talk. I was talking about how,
Shock
I was talking about the Fallout tabletop campaign, which, Books and Smiles here, my friend, is actually one of the participants of. It's gonna be going up at the end of this month. I've figured out now, Sheebs, if you're wondering, the first episode. And, it's gonna be a bi-weekly series. At this point in time, we have the first 3 episodes recorded. Oh yeah, and Sheebs, I'm gonna let you in on a little dirty little secret in regards to that campaign since you're here.
Ready!
And you know, this is a great thing to tease the few people who watch Marvel Blast Gold who might be interested in the Fallout campaign. But at the end of the 3rd episode, one of the players was messaging me about a thing they want to have their character secretly do. And so next session is going to open up with one player doing a stealth check and all of the other players performing perception checks. But I'm just going to tell everybody to perform a perception check, but the secret is that one of them is doing a stealth check. That's gonna be fun.
Ready! Set!
So, you know, between episodes 3 and 4, there's gonna be a special secret thing trying to be done by one of the players, and we'll see what comes of it. So that's a little teaser to look forward to. But yeah, I'm trying to retrofit that system into making my own setting that is based off 1920s retrofuturism in an apocalyptic setting. Oh, another one of the main sources of inspiration for that setting is the writings of the author of Journey to the Center of the Earth. I'm forgetting his name, but he wrote 50,000 Leagues Under the Sea. He wrote To the Moon and Back. He's a famous French author. I love his books, but I can't remember his name. But that author is another one of the big inspirations for stuff that's going to be in the setting. Yeah, science fiction of the 1920s was wild because science was just getting advanced enough that it was approaching what I would call modern science, like the infant version of it. But like, it was still people didn't know what they were doing and didn't have the technology to Jules Verne, yes, thank you. They didn't have the technology to measure these things. Alright, I gotta be quiet again. Fuck.
Ready! Set! Go!
Okay.
Shock absorber. Ready!
But yeah.
Set!
One of the things I have planned for that setting that I'm working on that's gonna be fun is there's actually gonna be microwave guns is one of the primary weapons that I have mechanics for, where it has its own like attacks. Just because I think that's a very funny 1920s weapon to create is a microwave gun. It would look like a big old radar dish that just shoots heat at people. And then there'd be lightning guns, normal old ballistic guns, and laser guns. No plasma weaponry, because I don't really think plasma technology fits in a 1920s sci-fi setting like Tesla and laser guns do. And there'd also be, there'd be like a, you know, I have a number of ideas of different weapons based on different things found within the world. That would all have to be defended against in different ways. Okay, careful. That jump is so hard to get.
Go! Shock absorber.
God, this level is killing me.
Set! Go!
There we go. Careful. Dial it back.
Shock absorber.
God.
Ready!
Man, I love the concepts in Jules Verne science fiction, though. And something I love is that he was one of the earliest authors to like explore the concept of just connecting a bunch of their technology.
Ready!
Oh, well, all the rules part of action are in the Gas Network Discord. Like, those are all the basic rules, and any additional rules are more or less rules I make up specifically per setting.
Ready.
But if you talked with me, I could have give you some little, like, loose guidelines that would exist within a fuller book. Because if I ever release a full Heart of Action book, it's going to have a dedicated section for advice for a director on how to make, how to design enemies, how to do difficulty checks, how to design new character traits and stuff.
Shock absorber.
Careful. There we go.
Ready.
I remember back in the day, I had a friend who wanted to run a Dragon Ball campaign and asked if they could use Heart of Action. And I was like, yeah, sure.
Shock absorber.
But they homebrewed it to the point where it wasn't even the system anymore.
Ready. Set.
Yeah, we can talk about it next time we hang out. But yeah, they want to run a Dragon Ball campaign. And Heart of Action is a system that has like a very particular, I'd like to say unique way of doing dice systems. It's loosely inspired by the way that dice rolls are done in an old campaign or old system I liked called Atomic Highway, which if you want to get into tabletop, I highly recommend Atomic Highway. Very easy to learn how to both run and play, and is free online if you look it up. It has one expansion book, Irradiated Freaks and Weirdos. But the roll system is a little bit unique, and I think is one of the main cruxes of the system. And they replaced that with a D percentile system, and I'm just like, I feel like at this point you're not running Heart of Action anymore. And they changed how character traits and leveling worked. I'm just like, they asked to borrow my system and then proceeded to craft their own entirely unique tabletop system, which is cool. And when I played in the campaign, I very much enjoyed the system they had made, and I enjoyed the campaign. And I'm not like critiquing them for it. I'm just like, homie, I feel like you didn't need to ask to borrow my system at all, because you literally didn't even use my system.
Ready.
It was funny.
Set. Go.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to it. Damn it.
Ready. Set.
One of my friends, Doodlezar, ran a horror campaign once and made some truly horrific creatures for it. They're an artist, so they drew a lot of the creatures, and the ones they didn't, they just described, and it was very high quality monster descriptions and content. Very fun campaign. Ah, that's a shame. It's always sad to lose old artwork. It's why I low-key always try and plaster any art I make all over the internet, like, so that there's always a million backup locations that exists. I send it to friends, I send it, I post it on my Tumblr, I post it sometimes on my YouTube. I'll even usually nowadays record videos of me making it. Oh, it's art from a friend. That makes sense then, why you couldn't just post it everywhere. Alright, I'm about to approach the hard part again.
Time travel. Ready. Set.
I don't know if I can beat this level. Yeah, let's try and get that gem and then look around to see if there's like an alternative path that I can take. 'Cause maybe I'm just beating my head against a brick wall here, and there's a better option.
Ready. Set. Go.
But yeah, like my favorite moment that I remember from that campaign was one that happened very early on, where before like the really creepy stuff had started breaking out, because it was just a very good build up for the setting. And the idea was a murder had happened at a Halloween party, and we were all playing investigators and police officers on the scene to look into it. And I was playing a forensics expert. And I show up to the scene, and I'm taking some pictures of the building just to, you know, for documentation purposes. And I get inside the main living room where the party's happening. And I take a picture, and I get the window that leads out to the front yard where all the police cars are with their blaring sirens. And I take the picture, and I look at it. And in the picture, outside the window, is a dark forest. And I'm just like, that's weird. I take another one. And they're like, yeah, there's a dark forest there instead of all the cop cars. I'm like, that's so weird. And they're like, and then they say like, and you notice it looks like the tree branches got lower in the picture this time compared to the first one when you compare them. And so I had my character take another one. It's like the branches are even lower. And so I'm like, I'm gonna start just taking pictures over and over to create like a slideshow. And the branch is lower and lower. And then I realize those aren't branches. Those are fingers. Yeah, there's no other path once I'm here. I have to take this path. Yeah, they're not branches, they're fingers. And they're reaching down and grabbing the base of the window. And then they start to open it. And I was like, I'm gonna stop taking pictures. And they're like, no. Or they're like, give me a willpower check. I'm like, what? They're like, give me a willpower check. And I fail it. And they're like, no, you keep taking the pictures. As the slideshow continues, as the window begins to open, and you realize those aren't trees, those are legs. And something begins to look down. And just as the face begins to crest, somebody tapped my character's shoulder and to ask them a question. And then my character jumps, they're like, hey, look at this. And the other person looks and they're like, what is it? Picture of the window? And I look and I click back through all the pictures and they're all just normal. And I was just like, God damn! Doodle! What a great fucking start to like the creeps, the weirdos, the scariness. That was the first scare of the campaign. And it like lives in my head. It's so good. It's so good. And the whole campaign just like continued to be good from there. And low-key, what killed the campaign for me was one of my friends is trying to play like a comedic relief character, which very much broke the horror tension at moments. The character was fun and funny and like actually genuinely helpful in a lot of the scenes, but like, man, it hurt the tension.
Go!
Oh yeah, we're gonna. You talked to me about your backrooms campaign. Oh my god, we're at the 20-minute mark. So you know what? This will be the last attempt of this episode, and we'll see if we can get this done. So I'm basically gonna keep playing this game until the end of tonight, until I get like too tired to keep playing, or until it's a point where I need to make myself stop playing. And if I do not beat this level by the end of this recording session, it might mean the end of Marble Blast Gold, because I've already been bashing my head at this level for over an hour. Careful, careful. Oh yeah, you told me about that mechanic. I love that conceptually. So like a player's camera can capture something they don't see, and later on looking back they can notice it. No! Okay. God, that jump is the worst. So, next time on Marble Blast Gold, we will try this again. Ugh. And cards will be appearing in just a moment. Love all you very, very much, and ta-ta for now. Oh, the yeah, you told me stories about that. It's such a cool concept, the way you're running that campaign. Yeah, see all you YouTube people later. Bye.